This is the weekend edition. My name's D7 here at Grok Trade. This weekend edition, good through Sunday, October 2nd, 2016. And on Friday, the markets ended the day bullish with small caps up more than 1%, banks up 1.5%, financials up 1.4%. Nice rally there. Crude oil up more than 0.5%, and gold down but silver higher, and the VIX dropping. But we're going to talk about the VIX. Big news here on what I want to share with you on the VIX. Taking a look here at the S&P 500, we're going to be looking at daily charts, weekly charts, and monthly charts. A very in-depth look to what we can expect going into the future when it comes to the technical analysis. And we have some very interesting things. If you go to Grok Trade, go to Grok Trade. When you go to Grok Trade, click on Trading Mentor. That's what you want to do. Or better yet, I mean, you can do Trading Mentor if you want to and watch all those. But, oh, by the way, this is Grok Girl in the background. Go to Twitter or Periscope. Follow her at Grok Girl, but anyway, click on Master Your Trading. Master Your Trading. That's the link. We have 2 mentorships coming up. We have one in October and one coming up in a couple weeks, and it's 3 days. 3 days of training. You can take the one in October from the comforts of your own home. 3 days of training. Here we are looking at the spider. Symmetrical triangle. At one point on Friday, boom, we broke out. Came up here to this resistance area. Remember that 217 that I drew across? We got right up into that over the 50-day moving average. But no one wanted to hold long over the weekend, so they sold into that strength until the end of the day, closing right at our trend line. Again, it's not magic how these trend lines work. It is by great engineered precision, and whoever draws these trend lines the best wins, period. It's something that we spend a lot of time teaching in our mentorships. So we go up, we come back down at resistance line. I put a sell sign on Thursday. I'm going to keep that even though we went bullish here. That's to be expected. A lot of chop inside the apex of a symmetrical. Very much to be expected, especially with all the moving averages. It's going to be up and down. But the question is, are we going to get a big pop to the upside or a big drop to the downside? I am here to tell you what to expect. By the end of this video, you're going to have a very clear understanding of what we can expect. If we look at the weekly chart, again, this is the spider. This is the weekly chart on the spider. We down here, we're at support, right? Support. We're having a hard time releasing. This week we should have popped up. This week we should have did that. I'm now going to take away what I think's going to happen. I still have my sell position on from a few weeks ago. I still think that we are a better chance of selling off than going bullish. We've been trickling higher, but not with any conviction at all. Big bearish divergence here on the weekly chart. So that's the weekly. What's the monthly showing us? The monthly, and to be quite frank, the month just started, so it doesn't matter. It does not matter what's going on. This is how we ended, though. Now, September ended, okay? September ended with a lower high, lower low. There's a pivot candle. You Mentee students, you Grok graduates, been to the mentorship program, there's our pivot candle. That's our pivot candle right after a doji, right at resistance. Resistance, pivot. This now could be setting up for a nice downside opportunity on the monthly chart. So give that some thought. Now look, you see how we're going higher here? Higher? Watch what the MACD is doing. Lower. Furthermore, I want you to really look at this. The MACD centered oscillator, the zero line coming across. Histograms have been positive. However, for September, we get our first negative tick. See that? Negative tick. Giving you some great technical analysis indications here. A quick look at the Dow. This is the Dow. The Dow daily chart looks just like the S&P, so I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. But the weekly chart is sizably different. We have a rising wedge. We do have a bearish divergence here on the MACD. We're setting up to go bearish, guys. Bearish divergence. We broke support. Now support's acting as resistance. That is setting up as a little, what's called a bear pullback on a weekly chart. A weekly chart, bear pullback, guys. Very, very a bearish setup. And if I look here at the monthly, September's over, lower high, lower low, just like the S&P 500 at resistance. This is set up to go bearish. Now, what I want to do here is go to the Nasdaq. Nasdaq and small caps can share a lot with us. I had this little line. I got to get rid of that. I was thinking that could be an area. I should have removed it. But here, look at the rising wedge. Look how price action is hovering on the lower trend line. You see this is hovering down there. It's not hovering at the upper trend line. It's hovering on the lower trend line. So even I have a buy still on Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq tech stocks, I have a buy from 2 weeks ago, or a few days ago. However, we're teetering on a drop. And so what I expect to happen is this. This is what I expect to happen on a daily chart. I expect it to drop. Now, let's look at a weekly chart. If you look here at a weekly chart, this is interesting. So we're looking at the Qs. This is the tech stocks. And we have resistance here. You can see this resistance. Resistance. See that? So I'm going to get rid of this one for the time being. I don't want to confuse us, okay? Resistance. We're right at this. So I had a sell here. I do not have a buy yet because we're having a problem. Let me make sure that is set right where I need it to be set. Well, actually, we closed just a hair above it. Look at that. Interesting. That we did close just a hair above resistance. A hair above. This is a rising wedge, though. It is a big time rising wedge. And we don't have the same bearish, same type of bearish divergence on the MACD. So we're seeing relative strength in the Nasdaq on the weekly chart. Let's see what the monthly is showing us. So the monthly closed out. We are at, I'm looking at that. So we're right at resistance. And I had a sell sign there premature, but we're there. And we have a hangman reversal pattern after a rally higher. So the monthly is telling me we could get bearish. Monthly's telling me we get bearish. The weekly on the text saying that we might be going bullish, that we're squeaking out a bullish thing there. And on the daily is a rising wedge. I do expect it to drop. So small caps. Now, small caps can be highly predictive. So this is IWM. You can see that there. This is the small caps. We popped up like it was going to break out, and we come right back down. So we called it a buy. And then I called it a sell because we broke an area of support, but we immediately came back. So there we're at the apex. Gang, next week is going to be a big move. Expect a sizable move going into next week. And it'd be very interesting to see what direction. Right now I have a sell on it. I will keep it there unless we break out to the upside. But I do not see it going to the upside. If I go to the weekly chart, I have a sell because it's a rising wedge. And look at this. We're hanging out at support. We can't get off of support. So I'm expecting this to drop. I mean, I already have a sell on it, so I'm expecting it, but I'll just put that. That's what I'm expecting to happen here. No, not a great bearish divergence on the MACD, but still, nonetheless, rising wedge at support there. And this is a weekly chart, remember, on small caps. The monthly chart on small caps is we've been going higher. The point that I want to bring across here is right there. That is our resistance. And we got up to that area of resistance. Now we have a hanging man, and I'm expecting this to now drop. I can't put a sell on it yet because it hasn't started to do that yet here on the monthly chart. But we have been going higher 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months in a row. We are due for now a pullback. Let me tell you why I expect there to be a pullback. It has to do with something I'm going to be talking about right at the end of this when we get into volatility and VIX. It's something that everybody needs to hear and know. Now I'm going to get into the bank's financials. I'm going to get in crude oil, and I'm going to get gold and silver before I get into the VIX. And very important things to talk about. As a reminder, I want you to go to Grok Trade, at Grok Trade. I want you to click on this link, Master Your Trading. The reason I'm pushing this so much is because this is one of those times in your life that you have an opportunity to spend 3 days with us to significantly change your trading. One thing as I go over here to the banks, let's go to the banks. The one thing that people need to understand in trading is they have to have a trading foundation. One of the biggest hurdles that we have as educators is getting people to believe that trading cannot be done on their own. There's nobody out there that I know of that's taught themselves how to trade just by the internet and books and stuff. It takes formalized trading education. Everybody needs that. The bank's daily popped up, hit resistance, got above resistance. I called it a buy. Now we're at this area of resistance coming across. See this area of resistance? We're at that, but we're above this trend line. Very interesting times here. This Bankly daily is odd. I have a buy on it. I'm going to keep that buy on that. I will keep it on there unless it breaks down. But this is a hanging man after I run higher. This is a hanging man reversal pattern, almost a tweezer top too. If I look at the bank's weekly chart, you have a rising wedge. We tried to break down in this rising wedge. We came back closing above it. It's so interesting to see how we almost broke down, and that was going to be the death of the banks for the weekly chart to break down like that. It did not do it. Came right back higher. The question is will it give up the ghost next week? Look at the monthly chart. The monthly, this is the monthly. We pop higher. I called it a buy. We're there. Wait a second. Was I looking at I was looking at the monthly, calling it a daily. There's the monthly. So the monthly, I called it a buy. I'm sorry. Monthly, we called it a buy, almost a tweezer top, hanging man. I'm like, keep it a buy unless we break down. Now the daily chart on the banks is like this. I called it a sell. It did pop up, but we're still below resistance. I'm going to keep my sell signal on that. I'm going to get rid of this line. It's unnecessary now. And that's what we're looking at for the bank's daily. Now the financials, this is the ETF on financials. Very important that we look at this. This I'm expecting the daily to break out, I said, and it does. Boom. I'm going to get rid of that because it's a falling wedge. I had a buy on that 2 weeks ago, so my buy signal is still good. Very good. So it's popping up. That is a bullish sign for financials to break out like that. That's a bullish sign. If I look here at the weekly chart, another bullish sign that we have is, make sure we have that support. We went down, touch support. Now we have a hammer after a pullback. This could go higher, and we do have kind of a pinching looking wedge a little bit here, and a divergence taking place. So I'm not sure we're going to get much of a pop here. This is the weekly chart on the financials. Let's see what the monthly is showing us. The monthly, man, all my lines, I hate when they recalibrate like that. So I need to get rid of, whoops. Hang on. Should not have deleted that. Hate it. Anytime they make changes in the ETF, it recalibrates everything. So, let's see. Draw a trend line. This is a monthly chart. We did have this. It broke above. And I forget what I... Oh, it was a buy, I remember. And I think I did that one because it crossed over the line. That's right. Okay. I feel good about that. I'll keep that buy on that. This is one to watch. That is one to watch. Crude oil. Crude oil. A lot of you guys trading crude, and on the, remember the big breakout I was saying, we had the triangle and then boom to the upside and boom, 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 boom. That we're at resistance. We stall at resistance. We have an evening star. Could get a little pullback here. So expect on a daily chart a little pullback and look for a re-entry on that pullback or a high base, and then look for a pop there on crude oil. If I go over here to the weekly chart on crude, there it is. I remember this. I said when it breaks out, wait for it to pull back and pop. Another buy signal. Another buy signal. I expected it to go higher, and sure enough on the weekly it did. I'm going to get rid of what I was thinking. Now it's a full-fledged buy on crude oil. Expect crude oil to go higher. What's the monthly showing us? The monthly crude oil, I said down, and now I expect it to go higher. I'm going to keep my down for the time being. I do expect it to go higher. I'm going to keep this. We just didn't make a higher high, so I can't put a buy signal on the monthly yet. But overall, bullish on crude oil. Let's get into gold and silver. Gold and silver. This is huge news, guys. I mean, big, big, big. At one point, we were below. Okay, symmetric triangle. We were down, down, down. Hit support. I expect it to go higher. It did not. It opened up, closed lower. It broke an area of support. Now I'm going to get rid of this. This is a full-fledged sell signal on gold. Gold is a sell on a daily chart, and it happened on big volume. So that is problematic. Gold has issues, big issues. And next level of support, 124.77, rising 100 day. Bad news for gold. Bad news for gold. Now I'm going to go over here to the weekly chart, and I called it a buy, and it immediately comes back down. Immediately gets back down. Now we're below it. I have to put a sell signal on the weekly chart. It was promising for a minute. Now we come back down. There's my sell signal because we're on the wrong side. Sell signal on the weekly chart on gold. Big bearish divergence. And we're getting ready to go sub-zero on the MACD. Look at this. Negative histogram. And at the zero line, watch that to go sub-zero. This is very bearish. This could be very problematic for the markets. Silver, I expect it to go higher. I'll still say higher. I still have my, it's still above support. I don't like that it's chopping down here in the lower echelon of this channel. We got this channel, we're in the lower part of that. It should have taken off. I'm going to shorten that. Maybe a little bit of a pop here, maybe. So that's what I'm expecting. But now this thing's starting to look more and more bearish on a weekly chart. This is a weekly chart on silver. You know what? Gold. Let me go back to gold for a second. I want to look at. I want to look at the monthly. Gold had two lower lows, but we have an equal low now, or two lower highs, an equal. So I have a sell on it, but I expect to go higher. I'm gonna get rid of this now. I'm just gonna keep my sell. It's teetering on a lot of problems here. If so, that's the monthly. Let's go to silver. Silver daily. Expect to go higher. It gapped up and then closed down. This one, I'm going to get rid of that because it's just choppy in here. This has not broke down yet. I don't have a buy or a sell position on silver daily. If I go here to the weekly chart, that we already looked at this. I expect it to maybe go higher, but it's looking very weak. It probably will start heading down. But the monthly chart on silver, I have a sell on it. I'm going to get rid of this. I have a sell on it. It's hard telling what to expect here on silver. But nonetheless, we have a lower high, equal low. I think it's getting ready to release to the downside is what it looks like to me. Now, what you have spent over 20 minutes listening to me on, I want you to understand what I'm getting ready to share with you on VIX. This is very important. Right before I do, Grok Trade, click on Master Your Trading. Grok Trade, Master Your Trading. Go down here and take a class Monday too. Monday, we have a class on mentoring. If you just want mentor info, join us at 8 p.m. Eastern, okay? So here's the most important thing. Now, let's go here to the VIX. This is the VIX index that I'm looking at. We are at major support right now. Major support. I have a buy signal here. I'm going to get rid of this one. Don't know why it's there. I have a buy signal. I'm expecting it to go higher. If you look, we have positive histogram ticks on the MACD. And we have that means the MACD and signal line are crossing to the bullish side. So this has a lot of upside potential. And that's what the daily looks like. But here's why it's so important, guys. If you look at every October going back to, I think, 1992, going back over 20 years, okay? We're talking almost 24 years or so. Every election cycle, the October before elections, volatility usually spikes. Okay, so let me say it this way. Anytime we're getting ready to elect a new president, the month before, October, the markets drop. And we are there this month. And if I look here at the weekly chart, I have it on buy. We come down because we're still above support. I have a buy on the VIX. I think that we're getting ready to go higher. I think October is going to be bearish based off of the technicals and based off of history. If I look here at the monthly, look at this. Every time we get to this area of support, okay, so look, it's just a huge area. Oh man, I'm about to really. So look at all this area of support. We come across support. We're right at that area of support. I mean, that's where we're at on a monthly chart. Okay, monthly chart. We're right there. So I expect there to be a spike in volatility. I expect there to be a pop. So the question is, will it happen in October like it has for the last 24 years or so? The answer is probably. So you can kill the video right now. We're done with technicals. If you need a little more just encouragement about our mentorship and you're intrigued by it, stay on just for a second. One of the biggest, well, let me share it with you like this. I had a rough time when I started trading. I did not do so well 18 years ago when I started. I was trying to learn myself. It didn't work. I came to a fork in the road. I had to either get formalized trading education or stop trading. I had to do one of the two. Dropped $21,000 with a group called Teach Me to Trade. Went through their program. Went through everything. And I had a mentor. Did the mentoring. And the mentoring was the secret sauce. Mentoring did it for me. I was so impressed by how the mentoring helped me that I created a business around it. I said people do not need to be paying $25,000 to learn how to trade. So I had a problem to solve. The problem was, could we get the tuition way down and give a better product? So Teach Me to Trade hired me. I taught for them, and then I taught for Rich Dad Poor Dad. I taught for a lot of different groups under their banner, and I quit being a coach and a mentor for those guys because I wanted to do it better for people. One, cheaper and better. So how do I do that? How do I make it cheaper? By not having brick and mortar business. So I thought, you know what? I will do it online. I will do online mentorship and save a ton of money. Something else I'll do is I will put them in small groups. So like in a couple of weeks, we're spending 3 days to group. You could be with us. And we've got a lot of mentor students that come through. So October, November, you can be with us. October is online. Do it online, 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We got the price way, way down. How did we make it better? Well, our mentoring is lifelong. We start off with 3 days, and then we give lifelong support and hand-holding. No one else does that. That's how we made it better. My single biggest thing that I have, the biggest hurdle that I have, is getting people to understand that they have to have a trading foundation of education, or the right education. The mentoring takes all that information that's out there and assimilates it together so you can have a trading plan, something to help you reach your full potential in the trading markets. When a person, a trader, understands that they need a trading foundation, then when they say, yeah, I have to have that foundation put in place, and there's no substitute for that, then the question is, what is the best way of doing it? What gives you the most value? What's the best manner in getting that foundation? Is it the books? Is it the seminars? Is it on scouring the internet? What is it? The answer is mentoring, and that's the answer, and I put an exclamation point on that. That's why we don't sell a bunch of other things. You don't get DVDs and a bunch of seminars from us. It's because they don't work. What works are the mentorships. You know, if I'm going to learn to fly a plane, put me with somebody that flies planes. Let me learn from a professional pilot. That's the name of the game. And that wasn't lost on me. And again, I built my whole entire business around that. So the fastest way to get that foundation put in place at the biggest value is mentoring. You happen to be users of what it is that we're doing. You stumbled across Grok Trade. Maybe you've been following me for 1 day, maybe a month, maybe 5 to 7 years. Hard telling. But you stumbled across us. You stumbled across the best place to get your trading foundation put in place. The best foundation of education money can buy at the best value. That gives you lifelong education. So we have a 3-day class coming up. How can you find out more information on this? Click on Master Your Trading. When you click on that link that I've been touting all the way through the video, you're going to see we have 2 classes. We got one that's done online. What I want everybody to do is take the one online. It's 3 days. Once you do that, I want you to consider, you don't have to, but consider coming to Las Vegas and doing a retake. Do the retake here. We recommend that everybody retake the mentorship, at least retake it once, so you can really grasp all the information. And it's just a nominal fee for a retake in Vegas. And listen, take it online, come to Vegas, take that. You will get the very best bang for your buck in the education that money can buy. So anyway, fill out the form. When you fill out the form, either Carolina, who's here, or Grok Girl, Keisha, right here, one of those two will contact you. You'll schedule a phone call, and they will ask you a bunch of questions, and then you can ask them questions about the mentorship. You'll have all the information that you need to make a wise and educated decision on if mentoring and if our level of education is right for you. So there you have it. Again, I give you the very best technical analysis. We did a big video here. Thank you for staying with me. If you like it, like it. Catch you later.